Today, the head of Texas's NAACP called on professional and college sports leagues to refuse to hold any more major sporting events like the Final Four in the state until Governor Abbott reverses his directive on diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Now, last week, the governor's chief of staff sent a memo to the heads of state agencies and public universities telling them to stop considering diversity hiring. Adam Bennett live at the state capitol in Austin, where civil rights leaders and lawmakers are condemning that memo. Adam, what else are they saying?
Well, the head of the NAACP here in Texas called on corporate leaders to speak up against these measures. Meanwhile, one Houston area state rep told me he's heard from many constituents that are outraged over this news. Representative Ron Reynolds of Missouri City, he is the chair of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus. He was leading this press conference today and alongside several other lawmakers from Houston condemning the governor's memo. So just to recap here, in that memo, Governor Abbott's chief of staff, Gardner Pate, wrote that DEI policies have, quote, been manipulated to push policies that expressly favor some demographic groups to the detriment of others. Pate also wrote that an agency is not following the law when it, quote, adjusts its employment practices based on factors other than merit. A civil rights lawyer at today's press conference argued DEI is legal, and supporters say it helps diversify the pool of job applicants in a diverse state.
We're competitive in terms of competing for jobs for corporations to locate. They may say, well, we don't want to come to Texas because they are anti-LGBTQ, they're anti-black, anti-Hispanic, anti-Asian, and therefore we're going to go where we're welcome. And so I do think it would have an adverse impact.
I reached out to Governor Abbott's office today for a response to these opinions expressed in the press conference, and a spokesperson told me, quote, the letter from the governor's chief of staff is a reminder that state agencies and public universities must follow federal and state law in their hiring practices. Both federal and state law make equity quotas illegal. The Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who presides over the Senate, he just released his list of his top 30 priorities for this legislative session. One of them included, quote, banning discriminatory DEI policies in higher education. Tomorrow, we're looking toward the governor's State of the State address to see what he has to say if he brings up these topics in that address. Send it back to you.